Hmm. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Gail.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Have
Um,
your house guests left yet?
they have. Janet and I have come up with a new term of post-party depression.
Oh, totally. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it wasn't the party either.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're pretty tired after.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I feel that way every time after I have a big family visit. Either like, I go to the Midwest to visit them or they come here and then it's just like so much fun and action and then nothing. And you're really tired too.
Ah, well.
Well, we are being recorded, so I don't want to gush, but thank you so much for that potluck last.
Oh,
That
well.
that was just so sweet, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And it's so generous of you to have everyone over and share your friends with all of us.
Well, glad you were there. It's good
Mm.
seeing you. So I assume we're expecting others.
We are. Graham is out tonight. He has grandparent duties, but I am expecting Jim, and I don't know about Craig. I did. Although I saw Craig on Saturday at a memorial service for a professor at UMass, and he said, "See you on Wednesday." So I assume
Okay.
he's coming.
I set an alarm to remind me of the meeting, just, a little afternoon. I thought, oh, I've got a meeting. Hope I remember so that
Yeah.
so it jingled at 4:55. So Oh,
And welcome, Jim.
Oh,
hi, Jim.
my apologies. Old age, you know. I, I was trying to figure out how to fix my tractor and I was running back and forth looking stuff up online and I completely lost track of time. I'm sorry.
That is okay.
Yep.
Apology accepted. We are glad to have you. We needed you tonight because of quorum, because Graham is off doing grandfather duties.
Yes,
Um,
he told me
so
yesterday. I
yeah.
saw him.
So anyway, glad to see both of you. Happy spring. And yeah, we don't have a huge agenda today, so we'll get started. So I will read my little spiel. Um, let's see. Welcome to the May 15th meeting of the MLP Board and Broadband Committee. I am Gail Huntress, MLP Manager, facilitating the meeting. This meeting is fully remote. Participating also remotely, we have MLP board members Jim Hemingway and Steve Schmidt. Graham Sefton is absent tonight, as is Broadband Committee member Craig Martin. But we do have quorum with 2 MLP members, so we will go ahead. First order of business is to approve previous meeting minutes from April 17th as submitted and amended by Jim.
So moved.
All right, Jim, can you give me a second?
Yes, second. Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. All right. All in favor of approving the April 17th minutes?
I
I
Excellent. All right. So first I'm going to start with Graham's section of our Hutch report. So last time we were talking a lot about how we can protect our mini splits, our HVAC units, and all of our electronics are effectively buffered by the UPS, but the mini splits, of course, have a lot less protection because they don't run off the UPS. So we had talked about installing a surge protector for them. And I did get a quote, and Pioneer Valley Environmental came out to look at that. So the quote to do that is $1,623
hmm.
to do soup to nuts plus repair the louver
Oh,
that
okay.
happened. So just take care of everything. Their project guy, the project manager person, has been taking a lot of vacation this month. So I was hoping to report that all that is done, but we're still in progress. I checked on it yesterday. They haven't forgotten about us. It's just slow moving because this is not an emergency. And Graham looked through documentation and talked to Pachoric about doing a delay on the ATS, the automatic transfer switch, and to take care of those power dips. And to recap, the reason why that's a problem is that sometimes those dips start the generator running unnecessarily, but even worse, if it drops for more than a couple of or for more than a couple seconds, the load transfers even when the power comes on. So we can create these like fake surges. So Tim Pachoric said he can adjust the delay settings for 10 seconds, but he can also delay the actual transfer of power for 2 to 5 minutes. So he has 2 things to play with: when the generator starts and when the power gets transferred. So he thought that would probably be a really good idea for us to do to help protect the HVACs and also the rest of the hut to protect it from just inconsistent power. So the cost is $300 for the programming of this. The reason it costs so much is because he has to make a full separate trip to Shutesbury to do what he needs to do to program the computer. And he said we could have it done now and pay for it, or he would do it free as part of the annual service. Because he has to be up there anyway, dealing with this. So the question is, do we just have him come up and do this now, or just wait till October with annual service?
So October, so June, July, August, November, 5 months.
Yeah.
So this is essentially, the charge is essentially for service call, but
Yeah. Essentially, it just occurred to me another way we could do this is say, just come 3 months early to do the annual maintenance and do this
Yeah.
part.
Mhm.
So that's a way we could get it done. Although he could push back because he usually make a trip to do the something else at the town hall, I think. Is
well,
that
maybe the
yeah.
town hall generator also.
Yeah, probably.
So this 3 months, so you're thinking like splitting the difference there, or not doing it immediately, but
Yeah, I mean
just
it
a little sooner than the regular annual maintenance. I
y-
kind of think that sounds reasonable. I mean, we have lived with the way it is for quite some time. For a number of years now, so
yeah, my only concern is it kind of the push to get it done is summer thunderstorms of I would hate to blow out another one of our HVAC units. Um, I think, the other thing that's at play here is like how soon is PVE gonna come and put in that surge protector? Like if the surge protector was there, I'd feel less
yeah,
worried about this. So
yeah.
how about this? Why don't I sit on this? The PVE folks said that they would get back to me by Monday with like, okay, we have the part or we don't have the part or how long it's gonna be. And if they can just come and do it, we're gonna have to pay for that anyway. And I'll just say, come as soon as possible, do that, install the surge protector, then it'll be protected. And then in October, we'll have Tim do the transfer delays. If PV says, oh no, it's a supply issue and we can't get there for another month, I will see if Tim can come up and just do the annual maintenance early. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay.
And I'm thinking when, this is reprogrammed, the ATS is reprogrammed for these two new parameters. We need to be, this needs to be documented so that going forward, when, we're off doing other things, that somebody taking this over knows just how this is set up, because it may not be a standard. It certainly does not sound like the default, which is just kick that thing in immediately. Add it to our MLP manual.
Yep, I think we should do two things that were documented in our manual and asked him to actually put a note in the generator. I can imagine for safety reasons, also this is helpful because if like nothing's happening with the generator and I don't know, a technician's like, what's going on? He starts poking around and all of a sudden it lights up. That's probably not a good situation. I'm sure they have things to protect against that, but I would like to know if it's a delay. So make a note of both of those things.
And
Oh,
maybe,
and also Graham said we need to put a motion light hooked up to the UPS because if there's a technician in there and there's a power problem, he'll be completely in the dark and have to feel his way out. Right? Because the lights won't work. If a technician's is and there's a delay.
Until the delay.
Right. Right. I mean, they'd only be in the dark shortly, but that would be disconcerting because there is no, there's only like minor little lights in there. And I've you know, accidentally closed the door behind me, and it's really dark.
Gail, could you tell me about this so-called surge protector for the mini splits? What exactly that is?
I can send you the part. Yes, I can send you the part for it. The part description from the quote that they sent. I don't
So
have any
this,
other information like right here, but if you give me a
okay,
minute, I can find it.
okay. So this is something that is new and being added to the existing units. This surge protection is not
Yes.
something that they originally came with.
Yes, yes. It's a
Oh,
it's
okay.
a it's a it's a brand new part.
It's a brand new part. Okay.
There's
Well,
something
that
in the,
might mean that they are, that because, you know, these mini splits were blowing all over town during that time, about a year and a half ago. And it was clear that the engineering behind them wasn't too solid. And I spent time today or yesterday actually looking up surge protections for those units, line voltage in the terms of what are called AC line conditioners, which would take out all surges and everything else. But this sounds like this part, whatever it is would duplicate that particular possibility. Well, let's just go with that, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
Got it.
But
Yeah. Yeah, it's a part specifically made for these, so I think
okay.
that's what they recommended, they being PVE to
Mhm.
protect these. And I'm a little miffed that when, you know, Jamrog installed these, they didn't say, hey, this is a nice idea to have a surge protector
Mhm.
on your you know, your mini splits. But we didn't get that. So
yeah,
yeah,
well,
we'll do it now after market.
Yeah,
Hello,
but
Craig.
sorry for jumping in late.
No worries at all. We got a
Oh,
little bit of a late start today, so you just missed a little discussion about protecting those HVAC units with surge protectors and
ah,
generator delays.
okay.
yeah, I'm thinking about the surge, about the whole thing with these mini splits. And these are being installed by plumbing and heating people that have been installing traditional boilers and heating systems and other plumbing work for years. And this is now a whole new technology for them. And so, you know, it may be understandable that a lot of these people installing these are not familiar with all the um, ramifications of operating one of them. So the fact that somebody, you know, an installer didn't recommend this may not be anything they were really that familiar with.
It might also be that they are less attuned to real mission critical sort of things like this. I don't know.
Yeah, although, you know,
I mean, compressors have been around forever, right?
yeah, but they maybe haven't been installed by HVAC people, a lot of whom are, you know, have a plumbing background.
Oh, I see. Yeah, could be.
So, and I mean, home heating is mission critical also, which is what they're being used for.
Well, we often lose. I'm on electric heat and we lose power for 7, 8 hours, and that's, the way
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Fortunately, our house is well insulated, so
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we have a wood stove. So
and we now have that kind of thing also, yes.
So we're gonna, Gail, so we're gonna wait until October for Petrorik to make those adjustments, right?
As long as PVE can get that surge protector installed in the
Okay.
next in the next month, if there's like some kind of supply chain issue and they're like, no, it's going to be months. I think I'm going to have Pachora come early. I'm just worried about these summer thunderstorms of,
Mhm.
you know, it was so much money to get that HVAC unit repaired.
Yeah.
We don't want to go through that again.
Well, fortunately, you know, the three-phase line is now up and running and stable, and you know, I can say from personal experience that the power feeding me right here on Locks Pond Road is much better than in other parts of town. I mean, you know, it's much more reliable now than it ever was. So that's
Oh,
one thing.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we have better power distribution now than
Yeah.
we used to even over a year ago.
Yeah.
But
So
Jim, would you say it's actually shall we say, a higher quality power feed you're getting now? I mean, if you put like a scope on it, it would.
Well,
would-
I don't think that has changed. It's just the reliability of the power. And as long as you're connected directly to that three-phase line, which would be anyone on Wendell Road and Locks Pond Road, and of course the Leverett Shutesbury Road. So
Okay.
it's far more stable than it ever has been. I mean, we never lost. I never lost power this winter, and others all over town did,
Yes,
and that's strikingly
yeah,
unusual
yeah,
compared to the past.
we had the worst winter for outages I think we've ever had, so.
Yeah. Well, you're some distance away from the three-phase feed.
Yeah, and, yeah, there were just trees coming down
Yeah,
the
yeah,
place on West Pelham
yeah.
Road, so,
Yeah, West Pelham Road is loaded with with naughty trees, so to
yeah.
speak.
all right, let's see, other news. So this week or this month rather, for case tickets, it was pretty slow. Only 36. Normally we average around 45. And about 13 of them relate to real or possible service problems. The rest are all like, you know, billing and voicemail password problems. So nice slow month. Jim, I can't remember, I told you, he took care of the your pull request at
Yes,
your
that
address,
that was
but
done. Mhm.
okay, but they have to finish relocating the drop to take care of the top of it.
They've done that.
Oh, they took care of the whole thing?
Well, it was, I was, the other day, a couple of days ago, I noticed that, you know, the lines were tight and the slack that was there before was gone, and there were clamps put in the appropriate places. So it looks like they took care of it just a short time ago.
Oh, is the old pole still there?
Yeah, the old pole is still there
Okay.
because Verizon hasn't transferred their stuff over to the new poles yet. From from the beginning of Locks Pond Road down to the lake. So you know, just Verizon is way behind schedule, I guess, or something like that. But in my case, everything is okay now. It's been fixed.
Okay. All right. The technician said that he he still needs to do something with the top with relocating the drop. Because there's a guy wire from the old pole that's still in the way.
That could be. I
Okay.
didn't, yeah.
All right, but it's all secure from your end though, like the
Yes,
bottom, it's not hanging in the
flopping
wind
around, yeah,
anymore.
in
It's
the
not
breeze.
flopping. Okay, good. That's the important part. Okay. Um, let's see. This week, the extension on going to 585 Wendell Road was worked on, so that project is moving forward. I did get a call from the police chief because the subcontractor Surtex did all that work without getting police details. And they, you know, in that really kind of like twisty part of Wendell Road. So she was none too happy about that. And so anyway, I had a chat with her. I think, you know, I think what's happening is that the technicians don't want to be delayed by having to wait for police details and call them in. And also from prior work, they do try to get away with not using police details whenever possible. In this case, it doesn't cost them anything more because it's on us. It's a pass through, like it doesn't, but just from the way that they have always done their work, my guess is that's at play too. So I'm working with Chief Burgess to get a map of the roads in town that where police details really should happen, and we should just expect to have them there. Luckily, this is unusual. We almost never do mainline work, right? Like this is just not it's not going to be a major expense, but going forward, we do need to keep the police happy. We need to keep the public safe. So we will figure that part out and make sure that Sheldon subcontractors understand that they need to call for police details on certain roads. I do have an email out to Kirsten asking, like, what do you want in emergency situations? We just have to get there. We can't wait. We can't get a flagger. So that is happening now, but yeah, she seemed willing, you know, to compromise and work on stuff. So yeah. Speaking of pole transfers on Verizon, so today I went into NGENS, the National Joint Utility System notification, and am working on marking the 189 poles as next to go and complete. They finished the work about a week and a half ago, but I just haven't had a chance to go in. So the reason I haven't moved any of those poles, Verizon, I think it's on us. We haven't told them yet. But I was waiting for the whole project to be done because there's smattering of poles in between that weren't done, so they couldn't come and do the work anyway until just a week and a half ago. And yeah, it's manually clicking 3 or 4 clicks 189 times because of the station engines. So it's a good time. Oh geez.
Just thinking a little bit more about the Wendell Road situation. Becky sent out a notice on her the townwide notification that the dirt section of Wendell Road was going to be closed on a certain afternoon Friday afternoon or something. I just assumed that the highway department was probably grading the road, and that road like that, if they got their grader in there, there's no way you're going to get a car through as well. But I'm curious, was that actually the fiber construction that was about?
I don't know.
I think
I don't know if they were working on Friday, or the call came in on Monday from the chief, and she, you know, like at mid-morning, she's like, guys, what do you do? Like she was doing a patrol and she found them there working with no police detail. And she, what are you doing? And they said, well, our schedule changed and we just decided to do this work today. So I
Probably
it's
not connected then.
well, it's possible that they were also working on Friday and didn't
For
get
Becky to send out this notification that the road is closed, that means that, well, somebody told her to send
yeah,
the notification out.
yeah. So I don't know.
And so I'm thinking about this. So is the issue that you got a road like the dirt section Wendell Road, there's very narrow, steep, curved. There's just no way you can have big trucks working in there and safely get cars around them at all, or certainly safely get cars around them. And that is what the issue is, why police detail is really seen as really needed. Say that.
Yes, I don't think the road was closed, and maybe that was part of the problem, is that this big truck was blocking most of the road. There was no one flagging and directing traffic, and they were, you know, working on the line extension for those 7 poles. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and in situations like that, they're really where most of the road is blocked. There should be a flag or on any of the higher speed roads.
But of course, the paved higher speed roads are wide enough that it's less of an issue.
But the
Less of an
surtax
issue,
turn,
but the chief still wants to see flaggers
Mm.
whenever there's any mainline road, main
Yeah.
lines getting done on any of the main roads or twisty roads like that, like Wendell. And so yeah, we'll need to do that. This is a unusual year for how much we've had to lean on that though.
Gail, what was the name of the pole authority that, those letters, could you give me that again?
Sure, engines, NJUNS, National Joint Utility Notification System.
Got it.
So I hope to finish my click fest tonight so that all of those polls will be marked, and then within the next I'm going to say 1 to 6 months, we should see Verizon coming through and moving those lines and pulling the old poles to make town look a little spiffier. But knowing Verizon, who knows how long it's going to take, but our part will be done.
Good.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here for the financial report. So our debt and interest payment got taken out in April, as it does every April. So we had this close to $99,000 taken from our earnings this year. It is a good thing that we voted in January to move our retained earnings into an emergency reserve fund, because I think we're really gonna need it. I just don't know how much yet. So if you look here, this is the total amount that we have, including retained earnings, including the amount that we voted in January. So this is how much is left in the coffers, including that emergency reserve. And this is without that. So if you just look at kind of like our normal budget with no emergency reserve, we're cutting it a little bit close. We still have one more MLP fee payment that'll come through before the end of the fiscal year. So those are average about 29,500. So the big bills still left for this year are our insurance bill. So about 12,000. The Wendell Road extension we were just talking about. So putting fiber up on those 4 poles and a new MST. I expect that's going to be around 15,000 for that part. And then the final set of pole moves. We've already gotten one bill for about 65,000, and I'm expecting one more between 40 and 50,000. They said it would hover around 100,000 total for the project. So if you take those 3 big expenses, the total of that is about $80,000. So we're still in a healthy place financially. We're not going to run out of money. We're still going to have money left to kick forward into our retained earnings, but it's a lean year because of these unexpected pole moves, as we knew it would be. But we're still fine. Let's see, in other news, we're still working on the digital equity survey with FERCog. We had that stakeholder meeting last week about it. It's the survey is a bit long, longer than I want, but we are trying to collect a lot of good information for it. So I'm hoping that people will, understand its importance. I'll really try to market it well. helping people understand that doing the survey and its completion means that Shutesbury will get money. Mass Tech, the organization that is connected, or I'm unsure if they're the parent organization or a subsidiary of MBI. I'm not sure what that relationship is. But they have reserved $56,000 for us. So that is at this point, as long as we follow all the steps, a guarantee, and it could increase to $100,000. At a prior meeting, they said it was 70,000, but that has been reduced a bit. And it doesn't mean we won't get more, but we will get at least 56,000 for that, according to them.
So what was set aside for us again? It was 165,000?
No.
Is that what you said?
No, 56,000.
Oh, 56,000 has been
Yeah.
set aside.
Yeah, 56. But depending on the digital equity plan that is a result of our survey, it could go up to $100,000. So at least 56, as much as 100 grand. All right, and the last thing I have on my agenda tonight is vote to reappoint me as MLP manager. We have to do this every year, assuming you want me to continue.
I move we reappoint Gail Huntress as MLP manager for an additional year.
Second,
Thank you. Steve, vote.
Aye.
Jim
aye.
and Craig, just for kicks.
Aye.
There we go. All right, thanks, guys. So that's all I have on my agenda. Does anybody have anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, that was a record fast meeting.
Even faster for me.
Yeah. So, let's see. So our next meeting is in June. That'll be our last meeting before the end of our fiscal year. So, expect it to be finance heavy. It'll be on June 19th.
Okay.
And I will try to send kind of like well, is that I was gonna say, can I send around a final balance sheet? I think I'll be able to do that because I'll at least know all of the final bills that are coming in. So before that meeting, I will make a note to email all of you kind of like our final end of year balance sheet, so that you have a chance to sit with it and we can go over any questions. All right, I think that is it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
There we go.
Sorry, I'm typing.
Oh, it's hard with only two of you. You have to go back and forth.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much as always, and I will talk to you next month.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, bye-bye.